Hey party people, I'm Kelly.
And I'm Bean.
And we're Kelly Bean's Bees. We are seasoned
second year beekeepers
here in Central Virginia. So today we are out at the pumpkin patch. We are checking out our hives that we overwintered. We made it through. Woo. This is when you're supposed to like dance or something.
Woo!
Yeah. So we're so excited. So sometimes, I don't know, do a lot of times people not make it through the winter? Sometimes.
It depends. Depends on where you are, how bad the winter is, all that kind of stuff. We had a pretty mild winter.
Yeah, like it
which
never snowed.
You would think would be really good for bees because, you know, bees like it warm. But it actually means that the bees use a lot more resources because they're more active than if it were a colder winter. So, even with a mild winter, you still have considerations as to, oh, your bees might not have made it. Always a question,
yeah.
But...
And if you saw earlier, we did have a hive out here that did not make it through the winter.
So, we're diving into these hives because, as Kelly said, we haven't actually been out here since we saw that dead out.
And it's been like a month and a half.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So, we've got a bunch of equipment in case we need to split these bees down.
That baby is loaded down.
Yeah, it is.
With stuff.
Speaking of loaded down,
those are
this frame. Ugh.
It's like
I think it's attached at the bottom. Yeah, it was.
I'm hoping for burr comb today, y'all. That is what we use to actually make products.
Yes. So we've got some brood in here. But anyway, we're going through these hives to see what they're looking like. We're hoping that the queen hasn't left, that the bees haven't swarmed.
There's a queen cup right there.
Yeah, I think those are some queen cells.
Woo! Do they have stuff in them?
They look capped, which means we are out here at a perfect time. This is when we needed to come out.
Do you want to pull that one out now, or...?
Yeah, let's do that. All right, we're going to come back, guys. But Kelly needs to run and grab a box for me, if she would.
All right, see you in a second. Okay, party people, we brought about half the car or more out. So you're probably wondering, what are the queen cells? Those two, right in the middle of the screen, that is what the queen cells are. So that means what?
That means that, A, there are developing queens in there. They're in their pupa stage, so they have been capped, and they are developing, and soon they will hatch out and become new queens.
Your hive tool's behind you.
I think I'm going to set this, oh, there we go, right onto here.
I took out those frames for nothing. So you might be wondering, whoa, that is green. That's right. We got green paint this year. We just went to the local Lowe's and exterior what we needed paint. That was a mist tint, I believe is what it's called.
Yes.
They had paint there, and this color, it's not super dark. It's kind of like a John Deere green. But we went ahead and bought that because it was cheaper. So everything this year will be painted green. Bean's having a hard time getting some of these out because they have really glued it down from the winter.
Well, it's that, and there is comb in between where they put a bunch of drones. So I'm having to pull apart all the drone comb that's in between as well. But I also need to be careful because now I know there are queen cells.
It's a ton of brood on this side.
I can't just rip it. Oh, this is a lot of brood.
Yeah, this side too. So, ooh, we have a bee.
A little bit of drone comb on the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Not too much.
Was that a queen cup right there at the bottom?
There's one right there. Okay.
Do you want a separate split?
Yeah, we're going to do another split. So
you want to just do that box, or you want a nuke?
I'm going to do a nuke.
I'm going
For now,
to...
I'm going to set this here.
Do you want me to take all the frames out of this?
If you can while you're recording.
I'm going to try. Sorry if it's a little,
I'll come around.
What's it called? Not straight. Okay. This is why we brought a lot of things. I was a little nervous we would bring all of these things and then not actually use any of it. Venus moving frames, or hives.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna get a bottom board. for this.
Thank you.
And then here's another. So that's a nucleus colony. It's half, only 5 frames.
Yes, 5 frames.
So what's the theory behind having 5 frames instead of 10?
Well, it lets you have a smaller colony, so
Can build up quicker.
if you can make smaller splits into them, and then because they have smaller space, you don't have to have quite as many bees in it to fill that space. So they're able to work with the space that they have a little better.
Yeah.
But bees also tend to do better in thinner and taller spaces, so you can stack nukes on top of each other.
Yeah.
And they'll end up normally building out a little quicker than if you just had a 10 frame box like this.
Gotcha. So at the second location that we have bees at, we haven't really shared a video. We need to share the video. Hopefully at this point when you're seeing this, you would have seen an intro video to that. I think we're going to call it the turkey house because there are turkeys that live there. At that location, we put 3 fives?
Three
Yeah.
5-frame nuke boxes on top of each other,
So,
yes.
this past weekend in Virginia, it was super windy, and so I was so scared that they were going to just topple over, but we checked them this past weekend and they were okay, so we're glad to see that, but they're expanding pretty fast too. Lots of brood on this side.
Lots of brood on this side too.
I don't know about at the
I
bottom.
don't see any queen cups on the bottom, but we definitely have drone comb.
Drones, if you're wondering, those are boys. Usually the hive does not produce them unless they feel like they're doing well for themselves, right? And have enough resources.
And this hive is definitely doing well for itself.
Yeah.
You can actually see right here,
At the top or bottom?
right there where my finger's pointing,
Okay, hold on.
that's a drone hatching out of one of these drone cells. These are also referred to as bullet cells because if you look over here, you can see how much further out they come than the normal brood, than the worker brood.
That's pretty cool that he's coming out.
We've got 2 queen cups over here too.
What the heck, man?
Alright, this is going to go in the nuke because we already had 1 queen cell in the 10 frame, so we'll put 2 more in here just for backup, in case, something happens to one of the queen cells. You want to have extra.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Also, as I was saying, drones are boys. Their only job is to go out and mate, and then they die. So they just pull resources from the hive, so the hive needs to have enough resources to feel like they can keep up with their lifestyle of just going around and being a bachelor. So, all right. What are we doing?
So right now, I am splitting this hive, as you can probably tell. I'm looking for queen cells because I want to move queen cells out of that hive into this hive. I want to have queen cells in all 3.
Yeah, so those were the coned-like shapes that we had at the bottom of the frames that we showed you.
Yes. If I can find the queen, I may try to separate her into a hive with no queen cells, so then I take the queen away, and that will take away their want to swarm.
Okay.
But they'll still have queen cells, so they can just make a new queen.
Right.
So then we don't have to worry about being queenless.
Yeah, even if you have queen cells, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have a queen, though.
Correct. The queen still has to hatch out. She has to go on a mating flight, and she has to mate.
Boys.
Yes, she has to mate with drones and come back. All that has to be successful to get queens.
Yeah.
So that's why in a situation like this, it's always better to make quite a few splits and not just hope that your one hive will just make new queens and go with it, because the chances are pretty high that your queen's going to come back. I think it's somewhere in 75-80% range, but
you also never
that's
know.
not 100%.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So we're going to keep splitting. We're probably going to bring you back for another video of what we're doing or if we find cool things. But right now it's after 6 o'clock, so the sun sets here around 7:30. So we're also playing Beat the Sun at this time. So thanks for being here, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bees out.
Bees out, guys.